Hi, welcome to Lab 3. In this lab, we're going to be taking a deeper look into how we can communicate with our simulated drone. And in the previous two labs, we learned how to create a full backend for our simulated drone, everything from the autopilot software using PX4 Autopilot to the simulated drone, its sensors, and its environmental world using Gazebo. And we also did some basic takeoff and landing commands within the PX4 terminal itself. However, now we want to look at a new way of communicating using Mavlink and external interfaces that not only just do landing and takeoff, but can also do more complicated and autonomous tasks, such as an entire course with multiple waypoints to different shapes and flight trajectories to obstacle avoidance, all of which is completely autonomous. So there's no need to type in multiple commands into a terminal one after the other. You can set up a mission and then play that mission on your simulated drone, much like you would with a real-life PX4 drone. And we're going to be doing that with the QGC or QGroundControl GUI app. You can also do this with a custom Python script using the Mav SDK library, and we'll be looking at that option as well in future labs. Today's lab is mostly about the setup, setting up QGroundControl and installing it on our Linux computer. So QGC is built upon Qt. Qt is an app making platform. You can use it to make mobile apps, desktop apps, web apps. In our particular case, we're going to be using the 6.83 version of Qt to create a desktop QGC app. And to install Qt, we're going to first need to install some of these libraries onto our Linux computer. So go ahead, open a new terminal, and copy these commands. Okay, once you've installed your dependencies, you're going to want to go to this website and download the Qt online installer. What should happen is you should see a download automatically be sent to your downloads folder. And once that's done, go ahead, find your download. So I've done this already in the past. I have a copy, I'll get rid of that. What you should see is an installer file that is named something like Qt Online Installer Linux and then the version number. So you're going to want to copy the full name of your file, including the .run extension. And then you want to go back to your terminal, navigate to your downloads, so cd downloads. And then you want to give yourself permission to run that file. So type chmod space +x space and then paste in the name of your installer file. And now you finally want to run that installer. So type /, don't put a space, and then paste your installer file name. Okay, perfect. So what you should see is a pop-up wizard for the Qt Online installer. Click Next. It's going to ask you to create an account for Qt. Go ahead and do that. It's free to do, and it's necessary in order to proceed with the installation. Once you're done with that, click Next. Next, you want to agree to the terms and conditions and just mention that you're an individual. Then hit Next. So it's going to automatically select 6.11 for desktop. However, we're going to be installing version 6.83. So uncheck this and check custom installation instead. Then hit Next. So I've already done this on my computer. I've installed Qt already. So I'm going to show you what this looks like from the slides. So once you get to the custom installation option, you should see a screen that looks like this. You're going to look for Qt for development, Qt and then find the version number 6.83. You might see some other options pre-selected here, but all you need is desktop and additional libraries. I mentioned before Qt can make Android apps, it can make web apps, but we're only interested in making a desktop version of QGC anyways. So once you're done with that, click Next and finish with your custom installation. Okay, so you know that you successfully installed Qt rather, if you can find it in your home directory. So go to your home directory and look for your Qt folder, something like this. If you go inside, you'll find a folder with the version number 6.83. If you've gotten to this point, great. We're about halfway done. So, moving on, we're going to want to install some of the build dependencies for QGC. So, we've installed Qt, but we haven't yet done anything for QGC. So, go ahead, copy these lines into your terminal. I'm going to go ahead and just open up a new terminal. Paste in these build dependencies. And there we go. Now that we've installed those, let's look at the next thing. So the next thing is updating our CMake version. Now this may or may not apply to you. If you were following along, then you will have used Ubuntu 22.04. However, if you have a higher version of Ubuntu, this might not be an issue. The only thing is that Ubuntu 22.04 uses 3.22 version of CMake, and for QGC we're going to need something 3.25 or higher, which is a simple fix. All we're going to be doing is updating our CMake version to 3.25. To do that, just copy these into your terminal. And if that works, you should see this CMake version 3.25. Perfect. So now you're going to clone the source code for QGroundControl. So much like the PX4 autopilot software, we're going to be using Git to clone the repo from GitHub. So just like PX4, QGC is an open source repo on GitHub. Anyone can install it, and we can do so using Git. Just make sure that you also check out to the stable v5 branch, and you can do that all just by copying this into your terminal. Okay, so for me I get an error because I have already cloned QGroundControl to my home directory. For you, you should start seeing your terminal starting to clone the repo, and this might take some time just because it's a pretty large application. And if you've successfully cloned QGroundControl, then just like with Qt, you should be able to find its folder in your home directory, just like that. Okay, so now that you've cloned the repo, you just want to go ahead and make sure that all of its submodules are also updated. So copy this, go into your terminal. You want to navigate to your newly cloned QGroundControl folder and then type in the submodule update command. This just makes sure that all the submodules that QGC relies upon are also updated. Okay, so we're getting toward the end here. Now that you've installed Qt, you've gotten all your dependencies for QGC, you've cloned QGC, it's time to actually use Qt and CMake in order to create the binary files for your QGroundControl desktop app. So to do that, you want to navigate to QGroundControl and type in this CMake command. Okay, so this might take a few minutes for you. I've already done this once before, so it goes very quickly for me. So now that you've made the binary files, you're going to want to build it. So type in this command here into your terminal. Okay, And last but not least, now that you've built your QGC app, you're going to want to launch it. And launching it at first can take some time. However, every consecutive launch after that should be pretty instant, as I'm about to show you here. And there we go. This here is our QGC desktop app that you just built. And right now you can see it's disconnected. That's because we don't have a simulated drone running yet. So let's just do what we did in labs 1 and 2 and actually get a PX4 and Gazebo simulated drone up and working. So open up a new terminal. It's important that you have a new terminal for every application. So one for QGroundControl and then one for PX4 and Gazebo. So just like in the previous labs, you're going to want to use this command here, make PX4 SITL and then Gazebo X500, as we're going to be using the X500 drone. And make sure that you are in the PX4 autopilot directory. Hit enter. And here we go.
Flight mode.
So what you see here is in one terminal we have our Gazebo simulator. This is our simulated drone. And in the other we have our QGroundControl. And you can see that they've already connected. So what does that mean? Well, thing is, when you start up your PX4 autopilot, you're automatically sending and publishing data to a UDP port over Wi-Fi. And it just so happens that QGroundControl is already listening on that port. So by default, PX4 autopilot and QGC talk to each other on localhost. So that's great because all you have to do is open up two terminals, run your two commands for launching QGroundControl and then launching PX4. And they already do the same Mavlink communication that you would see in real life, except now it's over Wi-Fi instead of radio. And that is it for this tutorial. Congratulations, you've managed to create your very own ground controller app. And in the next tutorial, we're going to be looking at how to actually use QGC in order to control our drone autonomously. Okay, see you in the next lab. Thank you.